Operations with absolute values. When I do absolute values, I have to simplify inside the absolute value so that there's only one number in the absolute value before I remove the absolute values. So in this case, I have to do 5 minus 15 first, which is negative 10. So I have the absolute value of negative 10 minus the absolute value of negative 12, all in the big set of absolute value signs. Next, I can then get rid of the absolute value signs. The absolute value of negative 10. How far is negative 10 from 0? Negative 10 is 10 places from 0. Absolute value of negative 12. How far is a negative 12 from 0? Negative 12 is 12 places from 0. There's the minus sign between those, the absolute values on the outside. Again, I simplify inside here first. 10 minus 12 is negative 2. I then get rid of my absolute value signs. What's the absolute value of a negative 2? Well, it's a positive 2. So 2 ends up being my answer when I evaluate that expression. Number 17. We have the absolute value of 5 minus the absolute value of 4 minus 7. I have to simplify that into one number first. 4 minus 7 is negative 3. So I have the absolute value of 5 minus the absolute value of a negative 3. I'm then going to simplify my absolute values. How far is 5 from 0? It's 5 places. How far is negative 3 from 0? It's 3 places. There's a minus sign in between. My problem becomes 5 minus 3. Notice we didn't have the extra set of absolute values. 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 is going to be my answer. Number 18, I'm going to evaluate. Again, I've got to start inside my absolute values. 4 minus 12 is negative 8. So I've got absolute value of negative 8 minus the absolute value of negative 9, all in the absolute value symbols. Absolute value of negative 8 is 8. Absolute value of negative 9 is 9. Minus sign is in between. 8 minus 9, negative 1. What is the absolute value of negative 1? Well, it's positive 1, because negative 1 is 1 place from 0 on the number line. So just be sure you simplify inside first, get rid of your absolute values, and then finish out your problem.